Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Juan Solo here with ASQD Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the information based around Infinite Warfare and all the changes that are being made that are going to be basically on day one. So when the game comes out, there's going to be it's going to feel a lot different than the beta because there are weapon balances, there's kill streak balances, there's time to kill balances, there's spawn things, and let's just go through this. There's a giant update, and basically these are all the things that are being changed for day one launch on November 4th. So first off, a lot of people were giving feedback after the beta, and Infinity Ward took all this feedback from everybody and basically made a bunch of adjustments to the game that are basically coming from everybody's feedback to basically make the game better at launch. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is probably one of the biggest complaints of the beta, and that is snipers. So across the board, snipers are getting a very big nerf. So I'm just going to go down through the information on all of these notes and stuff like that and just tell you guys exactly what it says word for word, and we're going to go from there. So the bullet spread from the hipfire no longer gets smaller as the player ADSs. Once the scope reaches the player's eye, the bullet spread goes instantly to 0. Sniper aim assist was reduced slightly for the KBS longbow and the other bolt action snipers. Turn rate while aimed down sight is also slowed for precision aiming. I can understand that. Sniper class weapons no longer have any aim assist until the optic fully reaches the player's eye. So there is 0 aim assist until you're fully aimed down sights in the scope. There's 0 aim assist until you get to that point. For the ELO and scout optics on snipers, the idle sway while your ADS has been increased, and the player's bounce when he's walking is more. Because the optics are less zoomed in, it makes it so that they're a little bit more balanced because they do have a little more sway and a little bit more bounce and stuff like that. The tracking chip optics visuals have been improved. Reduced bonus of the quick draw attachment on snipers, so it's going to make it so at ADS is a little bit slower. And then one of the bigger things is they updated it so that the snipers will have more flinch when getting shot. And that was one of the biggest complaints I had in Infinite Warfare and in Black Ops 3. When you shoot a sniper when he's aiming at you, he has like no flinch and he can still hit you from like halfway across the map, which I'm totally glad they did that. Next up is shotguns, because shotguns in the Infinite Warfare beta were basically like, you couldn't use them. They weren't a viable option. They were terrible. So they increased the consistency of the shotgun damage. The shotgun damage at longer range has been increased, which it definitely needed that. Slightly increased the one-shot kill range because a couple of those were just hit marker machines. And then both the Reaver and the Banshee have received a slight bonus to their one-trigger pull kill range. So kind of like the one-shot kill. Launchers, the howitzer grenade launcher can now be fired from the hip instead of requiring a full ADS, which sometimes you get into a situation where you don't want to have to take that time to ADS to shoot it, and it helps out in some situations. SMGs, the Evo, the Ripper Evo, basically the Epic variant, has had a tuning pass to increase recoil given its bonus fire rate, so it's going to have a really high fire rate, but also it is going to have more recoil than the regular version. And now we're going to go down into the perks and the rig traits. Marksman perk, there was a bug that got fixed. In addition to reducing flinch, it was also reducing recoil. So that's out. It was a little bit of a bug, so it made that thing, especially when you you had gun perks and like a foregrip attachment, that thing was like a laser beam. There was literally no recoil at all. So the bonus reduction has been removed. Momentum, there was an issue fixed that basically made it so that your speed was not being retained. You would either jump and lose it, or you wouldn't jump and you'd sometimes still lose it and stuff like that. And then mark target, the temporary red marker on the victim has been toned down a little bit, which that's a good thing. Health regen and spawning. Health regen has been reduced. So basically you're going to health regenerate faster. So if you take 3 shots or whatever, you're actually going to heal back to full health quicker than you would in the beta. But the infusion trait that was on the Merc combat rig, it basically made it so you regen health faster, is being reduced. So it's going to have a less of effect. It's getting nerfed. Continuing to, they're going to basically continue to refine the spawn system on the beta maps, and then all the other maps that weren't in the beta, they're going to basically try to tweak them here and there after launch, and get everybody's feedback on the spawns and adjust them from there. Now, in-game currency, they have increased the salvage gain in mission teams. So I'm basically pretty much saying that they are not going to give you salvage for just doing things in-game. You're only going to get it from doing your missions, which I'm kind of frustrated with that, because originally when they explained this, it was basically meaning you're going to get salvage throughout the game for doing different things, and basically they're denying that and basically saying that they're going to basically increase the rate that you get salvage from your missions. but they're not going to have it so that you earn it actually in-game by just doing challenges and stuff. They did change the currency value in supply drops, so I'm not exactly sure if they're going to basically take it down to like 20 crypto keys or something for a rare, or, you know, who knows exactly how that's going to work. But they did increase the drop rate of keys in round-based modes. So, round-based modes. So Team Deathmatch is not a round-based mode. You know, Domination, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, those kind of modes are round-based modes, and they're increasing the drop rate of keys. So you're going to be able to earn those a little bit faster, which really you need to. You need to make it so that it's not like a crazy grind and you're not getting any keys, because then it kind of defeats the purpose of having supply drops without having to buy them with actual money. So and now the Scorestreaks that got tweaked, the AP3X was like the big robot. It increased the health, increased the bullet damage, and weapon accuracy up close will help with target acquisition, so that got a big buff. The RC8, increased health, increased weapon accuracy to help with target acquisition, slight increase in the fire rate, and slight damage increase and splash damage. The Thor, the big rocket thing that you come down, increased speed of tracking rockets, increased damage of both tracking rockets and strafing fire rockets, so that got a big buff. And then the bombardment kill streak, which is kind of like a Predator missile or a Hellstorm missile, kind of, sort of. Slightly decreased in both time and the initial drop and the time between each subsequent drop. Updated area damage to be consistent inner to outer. So that got a slight nerf. It's going to slow down the amount of time it takes between missiles hitting the ground. So that got just a very small nerf. Rigs, refining payload balance. So they're going to sort of balance the payloads on how fast you earn them depending on what payload it is. And slight tweaks to gameplay balance across the rigs. So that's not really that big of a change, but we'll see in the few months after launch if they balance out the rigs, if they take longer, take less time to earn, stuff like that. Game modes. Defender. When carrying the drone, the score per second bonus has been bumped from 5 score per second to 10 score per second. Score streak carrier bonus is unaffected, so you don't get any score streak bonuses for carrying it unless you kill people with the ball. But they did make it so you are getting a little bit more score per second when you have the ball. So it does actually make it kind of worthwhile to have the ball, because you're getting 10 score per second. So if you hold it for the full time, you're going to get like 400 plus score. Gun game now features all classic weapons. In future updates, weapons with alternate functions will retain their state upon spawn. So basically, let's say the Ripper Evo, how you can switch between AR and submachine gun mode, is going to stay in whatever mode it is when you spawn. Domination. When you step on a flag, the current capture bar progress starts to decay. The rate of this decay has been halved from the beta. This allows players to hop off a flag to defend it and then go back on the flag with less progression loss. So that makes it so you don't just have to stand on the flag and be kind of like out in the open defenseless. It makes it so you can move around and you can still jump back on the flag and you're not going to like lose a lot of time on it. Matchmaking. They basically upped the matchmaking to make it so the games will be easier to find. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty details of it because it's really technical. But they basically just made it so that it should be a lot easier to find games. They toned back some of the settings just a little bit, just so you're going to have a chance to find a lot more games in the matchmaking. Obviously, the beta was one of the big things, was being able to actually find games and connect to other people. So they are adjusting that. So at launch, we should be able to find games very easily, which is a very good thing. Time to kill. We know that a lot of people were upset with the time to kill in the beta, saying that it was too fast. But with the above adjustments, with the dedicated servers, matchmaking, weapon tuning, the time to kill will be more balanced at launch, both on the attacking and the receiving end. And Infinity Ward did state that they will continue to monitor and balance throughout the year as need be, and please give them as much feedback as possible so that they can work on the balancing of the time to kill. And that's just something that throughout the year might need to be changed depending on exactly what's going on. And then last but not least, dedicated servers. One of the main infrastructure changes that we made to the project was dedicated servers allocations work. Basically, they're saying, at the start of the beta, the host migrations, poor quality matches and stuff like that. They discovered some issues with the new system, the matchmaking system that they have, that basically made it so that you were getting low pools, I guess you could say low pools of matches to pull from, and they're basically doing a lot of adjusting with that. So like I said, at launch you're going to have a lot of games that you can find, and you'll be getting into games a lot quicker. You wouldn't have to wait in the lobby as long, so all in all, that's a good thing. But yeah, that is basically all the updates that are going to be coming on day one all the changes. So it is going to be quite different from the beta. The time to kill technically is not any different, but with the health regen and the weapon adjustments and stuff like that, it will probably feel just a little bit different. But that is pretty much all for this video, guys. Those are all the patch notes for the updates that are coming in Infinite Warfare before the launch day. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like. It really helps me out, and it only takes a second. Also, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe for more awesome Infinite Warfare content in the upcoming weeks, especially after launch. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time.